Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another YNAB Whiteboard Wednesday. My name is Jesse Meekum. I'm the founder of youneedabudget.com, and this is where I talk about our software, the business, where we're coming from, features, pretty much anything I feel like talking about. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about raw foods, because that's been on my mind. So I've been reading a lot about the raw food movement, and I was kind of thinking about how I could incorporate some of that into my own diet, and just trying to look at the positives of it. And I read a lot, and of course when we have the internet available to us, just the smallest, and I'm not saying it's a small movement or whatever, I know far too little about it, but even the smallest movements or smallest niches can become very big because you have access to all this information. My friend was looking at Toyota Land Cruisers and stumbled upon a forum where it's all about Land Cruisers and people purchasing these old Land Cruisers and fixing them up and reselling them and buying others and loving them, and you know, it's like their pet, and so they're just really into their Land Cruisers. And so you can find this little niche market, and that's kind of what I found with raw food, is in all this reading and studying I've been doing the last couple of days and kind of experimenting. I'm thinking, well, this seems like a good thing, a lot of really positive stuff, and yeah, a lot of benefits that I want to go for. So when I'm evaluating all these potential benefits and looking at this new effort and this new undertaking that I'm thinking about, I have to start kind of tapering back and asking myself, is it realistic? Is it sustainable? And I don't mean like environmentally sustainable. I mean lifestyle sustainable for me and my family, and with 4 little kids, and kind of how I work all that out. It gets kind of complicated, and you could see really quick that it could start to look unrealistic. But there are certain habits that I'd want to change for myself, and adopting part of the, maybe in this case, the raw food mentality could be good. Maybe it helps me, get rid of sodas forever, or maybe it helps me eat more fruits and vegetables. Who wouldn't want to do that? So there's a lot of just good stuff where it doesn't mean you have to necessarily go all in 100%, put everything on the table, but you can get a lot of benefits. Now, the key is, and I hope you're paying attention to my parallel here with budgeting and your money management, the key is, if I really want to get some kind of momentum, some change in behavior for myself, like where I want to say, I'm going to eat more fruits and vegetables, I'm going to not eat enriched flour, or not eat high fructose corn syrup, or whatever. I got to have some kind of momentum. I got to be able to get myself to that place. And so I have kind of this scale here where right now you'd say you're giving no effort and you're getting no value for it. And then over here is like, for me, with my situation, I would call this unrealistic effort, but I'm getting greater value. Now, there are diminishing returns with value, but let's even not talk about just the diminishing returns. I just want to talk about the effort and the sustainability of that effort. Right here, somewhere in the middle, is your optimal ratio of what you get over what you have put into it. And I call this sustained effort. So I would much rather make a small change and have that change be sustainable over a long period of time than I would to just try and go all in, 100%, 90 miles an hour, and then quit. There are a lot of psychologists would say, yeah, you just got to take these baby steps, right? We heard that from that movie, and Dave Ramsey uses that from the movie as well, the baby step idea, although some of those steps are gargantuous. But that being said, I want to, if I'm right here on my scale of effort I'm giving, of what I want to do, and I want to get to here, what I'm thinking is sometimes you need to go to this unrealistic place for just a little while, so that eventually you'll naturally slide back, because it's unrealistic and unsustainable. You'll slide back, but you'll never slide back. Well, I don't say never, but the odds of you sliding clear back to here are much slimmer. So I can go all in for a month on like a raw food thing, and then I can't sustain that. I know I can't sustain that with my situation, and I would slide back, but lo and behold, I wouldn't slide back all the way, and here I am eating more fruits and vegetables, and I've nixed a lot of processed foods from my diet. Same thing with budgeting. If you want to go all in with YNAB, and I recommend you do, then I would always tell people, don't import your transactions, do it every day, and have a lot of categories to really dial in and just get in there and do something and make yourself slide on this scale. Right now you've been doing no budgeting, your money management's been very poor. I'm going to take you to an unsustainable area, and then you'll slide back, and you'll see that on the forums where people have ways of doing things, and we're not, you're not drinking the Kool-Aid here. It's just you're going for a little bit, and then you naturally will slide back to a more optimal area where you have sustained effort and you get a lot of value from it. So eventually, and where I am with my budgeting, I import my transactions. I do use my phone to import transactions on my iPhone on the go. I only do my budget maybe once every 10 to 14 days, unless I'm, beta testing some feature or whatever. But for my own purposes, for our actual budgeting, we only use the app, every 2 weeks or so. I do not recommend that if you're just starting, because you will never develop a habit from it. That every 2 weeks for me is clockwork, and sometimes more, sometimes less. But if you're here, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, just do it every 2 weeks. It's a recipe for failure. But I would say you just go in with something frequent to really pound in that habit, and then you'll see life will kind of start to encroach on your sprint, and you'll have to slow down. But you won't slow down to not budgeting at all. You'll just slow down to something more sustainable, where maybe you're importing your transactions instead of manually entering them or whatever. But the point is, you sprint, get to a place, and then let life kind of slide you back to a more optimal spot that's sustainable for you. And here you are, much further along than you would have been in the first place. So consider that with YNAB. If you're just getting started, go for a sprint. Really kind of make it part of your life. Kind of have it define you for a month, and then it'll fade, and it should. It shouldn't define you, but it'll fade, and you'll eventually get to a spot where you're just kind of cruising along, and it's part of your life, but it's not consuming your life. So anyway, take that message, do what you want with it. I appreciate everybody sharing YNAB, and we're happy to see the growth and all these new users that are coming to us every day. Pretty darn exciting. Taylor put out a private beta for YNAB that will import split transactions from the iPhone, and he had another fix in there I can't remember at the moment, but a couple little nice things. It's more of a build for the iPhone group, it feels like, but we want to work on, there was a big change, that's what it was. The categories, category on the payee dropdown, he improved that significantly. Category dropdown will show your current category balance when you're entering transactions. Anyway, thought that was cool. Been wanting that for about 2 years. So you guys wait for features, and so do I. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.